The first thing we're going to cover today are the different types of addresses. Now, when we talk about computer addresses in general, we've got three types. On the physical layer is the MAC address. On the network layer, we have an IP address or a logical address. And then on the transport layer, we also have a certain type of addressing, and we call that port numbers. An IP address is a logical identifier, a unique logical identifier of a certain device or a host on a given network. So here we got two networks. This network right here is a private LAN network. And this network right here where we got two servers, an HTTP server and a DNS server, this now is a public network. And we'll talk about that later. But for now, notice that this is a public network and this is a private network. Then we have MAC addresses. Now, the difference between this slide and the previous slide is only in the MAC addresses. So these devices now have MAC addresses. So MAC address is a physical identifier. An IP address is a logical identifier, and a MAC address is a physical identifier. And a MAC address is also a unique identifier. So you can't have two repeated MAC addresses in the same network. And actually a switch, or to be more precise, a layer 2 switch, which doesn't speak the IP language, uses a MAC address to figure out where a certain device is located on a network. And the third type of addressing are port numbers. Port numbers help us distinguish between different services running on a certain host. For example, this host over here is going to use its port number 60,181 to send data to the DNS server, which is running on port 53. And it's going to use its other port, 30,524, to send packets to the HTTP server, which is running on port 80. So when the HTTP server sends packets to this host over here, it's going to use destination port 30,524, and then when the DNS server sends a packet to this host over here, it's going to use a destination port 60,181, while both of them use the same destination IP address. So that's the point of port numbers. We distinguish different services or different applications running on a certain host. And the last thing we're going to talk about in this lesson is IPv6. As you've probably heard by now, we're already out of IPv4 addresses. So IPv6 had to be developed as a solution to the IPv4 shortage. IPv4 actually only gives us around 4 billion addresses, while IPv6 provides approximately 340 trillion addresses. So we should be okay for some time. Now, here's one example of what an IPv6 address looks like, and here's a second one. So this is actually an address, an IPv6 address, which only has zeros in it. It's used, for example, for default routes. So you can actually write it like this. So I wanted to show you what they look like so that you're not scared of IPv6, but this course is meant to show you how to work with IPv4, and then maybe I'm going to create a course in the future on IPv6. Let me know if you'd like to see that. All right, so that will be it for the introductory lesson. See you in the next one.